Rexburg woman bakes and designs winning cakes, and her inspiration behind the cakes is America's rich history, the 2016 presidential election, and God.
That's a lot to put in one cake. Local News 8's Esme Carriega got to know this self-taught baker today.
Rexburg Cakes, what can I do for you?
She's a self-taught cake boss. No schooling from Constance Hayward. You could say she started her baking career from scratch.
I was really negative at first, thinking, oh, there's no way nobody's going to pay me to do cakes. I'm not talented enough.
By looking at this cake, you wouldn't believe she had any doubt in her talents.
It's very intimidating going to our fair in Blackfoot because there are amazing artists around here.
But her gift paid off. She entered the Idaho State Fair.
First place in the special occasion, and then it took grand champion in the special occasion, and then it took best of show over the entire Sugar Art Show.
The cake took more than 100 hours to make and was all hand painted. Each layer representing a decade in history, a moment in time, a person with a dream, a united country, and a fallen soldier.
And so I was hoping that as people looked at this cake, that they would kind of get some of the feelings I was able to get from it as I sat in my cake room and I sculpted Iwo Jima, or I painted D-Day, or I did the Jewish star. My heart was really touched and kind of turned to how much I love this country.
But for Constance, this cake fulfilled a greater calling with a higher purpose.
How God's hand has built it. And it's about how in this next decade that we don't have to worry about who our leaders are, because there are enough good people in this country that will sustain good, that will keep it going, and that we know who we put our trust in.
She even had a realization.
In every single decade, and that was the fun thing of a cake for a competition or a show, you always get to give it a title or a name. And I titled the cake In God We Trust, because that's who we've trusted in every decade of our history, and that's who still holds this nation in his hands.
Constance says no matter what way the election goes, she still has hope.
It just brought me a lot of hope in an election year to kind of, I guess, remember, bring to mind some of the things that have happened in this country and how it's been built, that I have a lot of hope for the future, that it'll still be great.
Reporting in Rexburg, I'm Esme Carriega.
That was very healing for me to hear her talk and sound so positive.
Yeah.
I think I needed that today.
She feels passionate about it, and it's a
Absolutely.
wonderful artwork there.
What a creative woman.
And our
yeah.
children took home some wins too. To find out how you can get a sweet treat, you can visit localnews8.com and find out how to get in touch with
Yeah,
her.
very good.
A district